What's up guys, welcome back to the next video on learning Python object-oriented programming. My name is QDS Danny and you guys are watching my channel Croywood. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start our discussion with accessing attributes. Say for example, you guys can create a class animal, our class pet. We can put a pet store, not store, and we're gonna define our constructor. And for example, our pet has a, for example, name. We can define a name to our pet. Say for example, we say self, we say pet, and we're gonna assign name. And here for example, we're gonna have another method here, and we say for example display pet, for example, and this display pet is going to display us for example the pet name, for example, and we're going to create print. And here you guys need to put your format pet, and we're going to put the pet name, for example, and we put a self dot pet name. Alright, so now in order for us to display, we're gonna come here, we put a define, for example, main. So in order for us to save time, we're gonna come here and we're gonna copy this one here, this whole special variables here in Python. So we're gonna put a if name, we're gonna bring it a little bit down. Alright, so now we have our main here. So we're gonna make our objects. For example, we're gonna put a cat, our cat1, and we're gonna say pet store. And for example, we have a name, and what name you guys wanna assign? We wanna put, for say for example, Fluffy for our first cat, which is gonna be in our store. And we're gonna come here and we're gonna access our method with the dot operator. Say for example, we're going to say cat1 dot, and we're going to say display pet, and that's our method, because we need to access this one. We have an object here, and we assign Fluffy to this name, and here with the dot operator we access our method here, which is display pet. Okay, so now we're gonna run, and we're gonna say that the pet name is Fluffy. Alright, so how about if we put a class, for example, variable? So how are we gonna put a class variable? Say for example, we can put a class variable, we put a pet, for example, count, pet count, and we initialize it with 0, because now inside the class we don't have any pet. And when we come here and we say the class name, we put a pet store dot pet count, and we put a plus equal to 1. So it means we're going to increment 1 every time we have a new pet. The pets we're going to increment 1. Say for example, here we're going to count the pet, and if you want to count something, your objects, whatever, say for example, if you have a cat, dog, whatever you have, then you can count it. So we're going to display, we're going to have another for example method here. We're going to put a define, we're going to put a count our pets, for example, count pets, and in here we put a print the total pets in store is, then we're gonna see the total pets in the store, and we say the class name pet store dot, we're going to see this guy here, which is pet count. So we're going to display the total pets in store is pet store dot pet count. Now here we're going to access this guy here, the pet count pets, whatever the pet count. So we're going to put a print, we're going to put exactly the same here, pet store is, so we're going to put this guys here. Alright, so now we should be able to count how many pets we have in a store. So because we're going to display our cat, and that's going to be Fluffy, and after that we're going to access this method. So and this method is connected not to our constructor here, And this methods, keep in mind, is here we have a class variable here. So in here we're going to count and we're going to increment one. Say for example, if you have a pet name and we have a dog, then it's going to count if you have two objects, it's going to count till two objects. And if you have three, for example, if we have a bird in our pet store, then it's going to count three. Say for example, it's going to be three objects. There's going to be cat, dog and bird. And if it's going to have, say for example, another animal in our store, say for example, if it's exotic animal, our leopard, our lion, our tiger, whatever the cubs we bring it to our store, so it's going to keep counting. Alright, so we're going to run our program to see if we have any error. And if you're looking here, the total pets in our store is 1. Okay, so now for example, if you're going to come here and we can put a dog here, for example, we can put a cat 1, our we're going to say here a dog 1, then we put a pet store, and what's our dog 1 is going to be Rexy, for example. So we have a new pet here and we put a dog 1, so we put a dog 1 dot display pet. Okay, so now we have the cat 1 and dog 1, and according to our program we should be able to count. And keep in mind is we're gonna have a class variable, and now we have a 2. Alright, so now we can keep on putting, up to you. You guys can put as many, say for example, you guys can put a price, or you can put a name. So we're gonna say for example, we're gonna put a name, and we can put a type. What is the type? And here we put a self dot pet type, and we're gonna assign the type, for example. Okay, and so keep in mind, we need to, the pet name is pet name, and pet type is, and we need to put the type of the pet. Say for example, we can put a self dot pet type. Okay, so we need to come here and display 1. So we have a cat, we have a cat, our kitten, and here we have a dog, our doggy. So we're gonna run our program, and we have the pet name is Fluffy, and the pet type is cat. The pet name is Rexy, and the pet type is dog, and the pet name is the total pets in our store is 2. So we can increase that, for example. And if you wanna put a, for example, say if you wanna put a, say for example, a bird, our bird 1, for example, if you wanna put a bird 2 or bird 3, pet store, say we can put the bird is Georgie, and the bird type is a parrot, for example. And we can put the objects, for example, bird 1 display pet. So if you go here and for example, if you run, and you're going to see that's the pet name is Fluffy, and the pet type is cat, and the pet name is say Rexy, and the pet type is dog, and the pet name is Georgie, and the pet type is a parrot. The total number of pets, you can put a number of pets in our store is 3, as we put a total number of pets, if you wanna say for example customize this one, like the total number of pets in the store, and we can run, and you can see the total number of pets in our store is 3. You can put as many objects as you like. For example, you can put a tiger, for example, and it's going to keep on counting tiger. And we can put a pet store. The tiger name is for example Flesh. Our we can put a cutie or whatever you guys want to name it, and it's a type of tiger, and we put a tiger dot display pet, and we're gonna come here and we're gonna run, and here we have here flash, and the type is tiger. And now we have the total number of pets in our store is 4. All right, how cool is this? How easy is this? So Python with Python we can do a lot of stuff. Say for example, we can put a price as well. Say for example, we can come here and put a price, and put a self dot pet price, and we can put a price. Okay, so the pet type, and we can put it here, and for example the price, and pet, for example, price is, and we put a self dot pet price. All right, so now we have a 3, and the cat, for example, we're gonna put as, for example, $300. For example, the dog we can put a, say, $400. The parrot we can put a, say for example, $100. And the tiger, so for example, we can put a $2,000. All right, so now we can come here and display, and look at here, the pet name is Fluffy, the pet type is cat, and the pet price is 300. The pet name is Rexy, pet type is dog, and the pet price is 400. And you can keep on adding that, and the Python is going to keep on compiling, keep on taking the whatever you guys going to put it here. So for example, the total number of pets is 4. So keep in mind how easy is this in Python. So for you guys to come here and just put here your class variable, assign it to 0, and just put it here in incrementation, and you guys can keep on incrementing. So as I said, this is that's how it's done in Python with when you guys create an instance of the class. So this is instances of the class. In your constructor, you already defined that's a name. You can, as we said in previous video, it's positional arguments. You cannot change this one when we were doing our functions. So you guys cannot change this one. You guys got to go according to what you put it here. You cannot just change it the way if you don't, you have to follow the rule. Whatever parameters you guys put it there, you have to put the same arguments here. And keep in mind, this is positional arguments, as we have seen here. This is a positional arguments, and the Python is, because it's structured language, you guys cannot outsmart Python, because Python is very clever. So Python automatically detected here that this is the string, this string, and this is say for example integer. That's what I intentionally put integer here, but I didn't put anywhere integer. Say for example, I didn't put any integer anywhere, so the Python detected straight away automatically. Say for example, you guys can come here and you can put a, for example, lion, and we put a pet store, and we put a lion Alex the lion, and we put a type is a lion, and we put a, say for example, the price is 5,000 for example. And here you guys needs to come here and put a lion dot display pet, and now we have 1 2 3 4 and 5. All right, so we're gonna come and we're gonna display, and you're gonna see that Alex the line is the last one, 1 2 3 4 5, and we put a 5. Now the total number of pets in store is 5. So how easy is this inside the Python? You guys gonna come in here and display whatever you guys want. So for example, we can put a line, and we can put a line, for example, line 1, and we're gonna put a here. If you look in here, that's a lot of attributes here. So I'm gonna put a, for example, I'm gonna put eagle, for example. I'm gonna copy this one, and I'm gonna put another one. Say for example, this one's gonna be eagle, and the eagle is, for example, is the sharp. We can name it sharp. The type is eagle, and here if you're gonna put a eagle dot, and keep on looking here, guys. That's our methods. So we have a display pet, and pet price, and pet type, pet name. That's in our constructor, and that's our constructor. Keep in mind that's all inside the constructor. and that's our class variable. This is our constructor, and count pets. And you can look in here. There are a lot of attributes in this in our in the just one simple class. We have annotation, we have class, and we have dict, dir, eq. We have new, reduce, and you can hear if whatever you're going to count. We have while, return, print, if they all we say this was built-in class attributes. So every Python class, as soon as you guys gonna create class, keeps following built-in attributes, and they can be accessed using the dot operators like any other attributes. That's what I was talking about. Say for example, we are not gonna create this eagle, and we're gonna come and get rid of this eagle. So it's now time for us to come and display a few of these attributes. Now we're gonna put for example pets in the store. I'm gonna bring this very close to this pet store, and this I'm gonna bring everything very close to each other because I need a room. Say for example, if I come here and put a print, and I'm gonna print some sort of line here. So if you run, we're gonna see our line. That's our line. The line is done. So we're gonna put a print, and we put a pet store doc, for example. We put a pet store. As soon as you put a doc, and you can look in here, we have the first one is we have a doc. If you double click this one, it's gonna come here, and you can copy paste this one few times, and you can view by yourself. So we have a doc, for example, and if we put a dot again, and access the name, for example, you can access the name. And if you could put it here, and if you put a dot, then you can go there to the base, and for example the base of the objects, you can bases, you can call to the call, you can go to the, for example, flags, you can go to dir, you can go to the, because all of these attributes are related to the class. Whatever class you guys creating, you guys can view all of them with the dot operator. Say for example, we can come here to dict, we can go to dict basis, whatever you guys want to do, we can go to dict, and when we run, and here the first one is the pet store. There is no documentation, so I'm gonna pet store doc, and pet store. Say for example, here we put a name according to our attributes, built-in attributes, and we have put a dict, for example. Okay, so when we run, and you're going to see that when the doc is none, the name is pet store because that's the class name. And if you want to look at the class of the name, that's a pet store, and that's a dictionary. We have whatever you guys going to see here. So we have a module, and we have a main because we have a main as well. We have a pet count 5 because here we have 5 pets here in our class, and we have init, and we have a function, and you guys going to see a lot of other attributes information. We have lots of count pets. We have a function pet store count pets, and that's inside the memory. This count pets is, that's a location of the memory that is stored, and we have an attribute dict of the pet store objects, and that's all attributes. Looking here, that's a attribute, and looking a lot of objects, and documentation is none. So you have all the information that you need is in here. Just for example, if something goes wrong, and just for example, if you are doing debugging or something like that, then you can put as many as you like. Say for example, we can come here and you can explore doc name dict. You can put it here, for example, something else. Just come here and get rid of these ones, and just put a dot, and you can display the name. Say for example, we have access the doc, and the doc is here, the documentation we have none. If you want to create the documentation, but that's going to be our discussion for the future videos, and that's going to be the name. We have access the name, and the dictionary, how many words we have here, functions, we have a constructor, whatever we have, and we can code down. You can look at here, it's the type is objects, and put dir eq flags. Say for example we can put a flags, and if you look in here, and you can put it just for yourself, you can put a flags, and we look in the for the flags now, and the flags is 808448, and we're gonna come here, and you guys can create as many other things as you guys like. Say for example you guys can come see the bases, you can see the dir format. For example we can look at the format, and we can put a format. Okay, now we're gonna see the format, and when we're gonna run, we're gonna see the format is a method format of objects. So that's a format of methods. We have a format of object, and it's objects, because the method is the format is of the object is objects. Okay, so that's how we can access the attributes, and that's what I put it, and that's what we have our own attributes. We have a class variable here, we have access it, we have access all over here. We can count our objects, and we create our instances of the objects. We create our objects here, and we can access all the whatever methods here with our dot. And keep in mind this dot is very powerful, as you've seen here in our case, that we can even access everything whatever inside the class. You can put whatever all of the attributes and built-in attributes inside the Python. So just by creating one class, you guys gonna have all this documentation here. You guys gonna see all these built-in attributes inside the Python, because Python is very structured language, and it's very powerful language. So this is what happens behind the scene when we come here and create our classes. When we create our say for example our constructor, then we create our class variables, our we're going to create our methods, and we display our methods. Say for example if you're going to create our objects, and we're going to create our objects variables, and we're going to access our methods and class properties, whatever, with the dot operator. This is what happens behind the scene. Here is the dictionary, and the dictionary tells everything. So whatever information you guys need about your class is here. Even if you're looking for the memory location of your pet store is a constructor, you guys can look at this memory location. This is the memory location of your pet store, and that's init. Init means that is constructor, and pet count is 5, and that's inside the main. Keep in mind how cool is this. So we have a module, we look in here, that's a format of objects, and that's how you guys can access all the built-in attributes inside the Python. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, Crywood. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.